What's up, shit? Sam Moose here. Now, with his new film, Dead Man Wire, in theaters in limited release now, but it is coming out wider this week, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Gus Van Sant directing movies. He hasn't really directed a film since 2018, so that's unfortunate, but the guy is still great. Like, got a couple of Oscar considerations. He's directed some really decent films over the years, gave great performances out with some good actors. So here is my list. All right. Number 10 is going to be controversial to say because I know lots of people is not too big with this film, say at least. But I actually enjoy it a little more than most people did. And I feel like people just hate it because it's a shot by shot remake, whatever. But you know what? I don't think it's a bad film. Number 10 is the remake of Psycho. Is it as good as the Alfred Hitchcock version? Obviously not. But I actually still quite enjoy the Psycho remake. It stars Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates, which obviously that is a little bit of weird head scratcher. But while obviously he's not as good as Anthony Perkins, something like that. I still thought he did a really decent job as Norman Bates. Really had that creepy aspect pretty well. He could play creepiness really well. If you guys have not seen Domestic Disturbance, or Psycho, he's really good at playing the creepzoid. And of course, here you got the late Anne Heche, Julianne Moore, Viggo Morrison. I thought it was a really decent remake. I mean, again, is it as good as the Alfred Hitchcock version? Let's be real. Ain't no as good as that version. But it's still a really decent one, and I didn't mind so much. Alright. Number 9 is another film that might be a little unpopular to say because it didn't really get the best reviews at the time, and I think it actually got a couple of Razzies at the time as well. But it's not that bad of a film. It's a movie called Even Cowgirls Gets the Blues. It stars Uma Thurman, Keanu Reeves, Crispin Glover, Lorraine Bracco, and it's about this feminist road movie following a free-spirited woman with unusual large thumbs as the journeys through counterculture America, trenching politics and liberation here. This was actually one of Uma Thurman's earliest films. I think this was actually more of her earliest one. This was actually I think a year or 2 years before she had her big break with Pulp Fiction. But it's Uma Thurman was excellent here. She really plays the part well. Lorraine Bracco from Goodfellas was great. John Hurt's terrific in this. It is a really decent little film. If you guys never seen that. All right, number 8 is actually the last movie Gus Van Sant directed. Don't worry, he won't get far on foot. Now, this movie stars Joaquin Phoenix and John Callahan, Jonah Hill, Rooney Mara, Jack Black, and here's what it's about. It's more based on a true story of this alcoholist journalist named John Callahan, who after an accident leaves him disabled from the waist down. He finds sobriety, purpose, and redemption through art, relationships, and all. Jonah Hill's terrific in this here. Jack Black really showcased some really decent dramatic performance, some dramatic chops. Joaquin Phoenix is terrific in this. It's a really decent little film. I remember seeing this one in theaters a couple years, about a few years back. It is a really decent little film. You guys haven't seen it. Really great performance by Phoenix, by Hill. Mara's terrific. It's such a really good one there. All right, number 7 is Finding Forrester. Finding Forrester, of course, stars Sean Connery. And it's where this legendary writer who finds an unlikely mentorship with this gifted Bronx teenager, helping him find his voice while controlling his own fear of the outside world. And this is probably one of my favorite Sean Connery performances. It's not as good as his Bond performances or his iconic performances. This was actually one of his later films in the 2000s. This was actually before, obviously, before his retirement and all. Honestly, this was, I think, about 3 years before League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And Sean Connery really gave such a good performance throughout. Rob Brown, who played this was actually his breakout role. He was terrific. Busta Rhymes. Who will ever expect that you'll ever see a movie that has Sean Connery and Busta Rhymes in the same film together? I bet when this movie was released, people was like, Sean Connery and Busta Rhymes in one film together? That's a weird casting there. But It worked out pretty well. It is a really decent heartfelt story too. Why didn't Sean Connery get hardly any much award buzz for this? That's unfortunate. But anyway, coming in at number 6 is the one that won Sean Penn an Oscar, and that is Milk. Milk, of course, is based on the true story of Harvey Milk, the first openly gay elected official in California, as he fight for LGBTQ rights and intense political and personal opposition. Josh Brolin, Emil Hirsch, James Franco. It's such a really terrific one. I mean, if Sean Penn, of course, wins the Oscar for one battle, that will be his first Oscar win since Milk came out. And he was really good in Milk. Really embodied this role perfectly. Uh, Josh Brolin does such a good job here. It's such a really terrific film. One of Sean Penn's best performances there. It's such a really good one. Number 5 is To Die For. To Die For, of course, is another film that stars Joaquin Phoenix, Nicole Kidman, Matt Dillon, Casey Affleck, and it's about this wannabe TV personality who manipulates teens into committing killing to advance her career here. And the movie is really intense throughout. Nicole Kidman actually won a Golden Globes for a performance, well deserved there. It is a really terrific, crazy thriller, like 90s thriller. This was one of Nicole Kidman's earliest roles, and she did a really great job here. So, if you guys haven't seen it, definitely give that one a go. Number 4 is My Own Private Auto. Now, I believe this was actually, I could be mistaken, I believe this was actually River Phoenix's last movie before his tragic passing. And this is, of course, where two street hustlers travel across the Pacific Northwest and Europe searching for family, love, and identity, blending Shakespearean drama with road movie poetry. River Phoenix, Keanu Reeves are both excellent in this. James Russo's terrific. Really decent early 90s coming of age tale. It's such a shame River Phoenix, again, sadly he passed away at a very young age at the time. But the guy I thought was a really wonderful actor. It's gone way too soon. Really wonderful performance here. This was one of Keanu Reeves' breakthrough performances, really too. It's such a really good film. Great performances all around. Really highly recommend that one. All right, number 3 is Elephant. Now, Elephant is a chilling portrayal of the. It is actually inspired by the Columbine, about what happened at Columbine, and it's where this portrait of high school days and quietly leaning towards to active violence here. Now, the movie is led by Alex Frost, who, if that name sounds familiar, he actually played the main bully in that Owen Wilson movie, Drillbit Taylor. He was, of course, the bully in that. So, no stranger at playing. You obviously be no stranger at playing bullies. You should come. Elephant is a really nice little film, say the least. Definitely Gus Van Sant knows how to do these type of intense coming of age stories really well. Again, it's not really based on what happened at Columbine, but it's more inspired by it. Obviously they changed the main characters is not the same names as people who actually was responsible for what happened at Columbine. But Elephant is a really intense one. If you guys haven't seen it, give it a go. Really great script here. I think it got a couple of Spirit Award nominations, if I'm not mistaken, but it is a really good one. All right, number 2 is Drugstore Cowboy. I believe this was actually one of his breakout film scenes he made. This was, of course, Matt Dillon's breakout performance too. In it takes place in 1970s, and the film follows a group of drug addicts who survive robbery pharmacies, navigating addiction, superstition, and all. And Matt Dillon, of course, obviously coming off of movies like The Outsider and many others, he does such a great job in this one. I mean, it's I feel like Matt Dillon is very underrated nowadays. I don't think he really does as much as he used to, but he was excellent in this one. Kelly Lynch was great. You even have William S. Burrell was also in this as well. It is a really remarkable film. Obviously Matt Dillon has stuff beforehand, but this was one of the few ones that really put him on the map as an actor, and a really good performance there. And my favorite film of his is the one that won Robin Williams his first ever Oscar. Number 1 is Good Will Hunting. I mean, obviously you got Robin Williams, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. It's of course where a troubled, brilliant young janitor at MIT possesses a rare gift for mathematicians here with the help of this love therapist. And Robert Williams, like, crazy to believe that this was actually his only Oscar win because I think he should have got like one other few films too. But man, Robert Williams is just remarkable in this movie. His chemistry with Matt Damon is terrific. Of course, Minnie Driver, Stellan Skarsgård, who's by the way probably going to win an Oscar himself, does such a good job throughout. It's such a really remarkable film throughout here. Gus Van Sant just does such a great job throughout here. It's just the script is great. Of course, the movie actually won an Oscar for best screenplay from Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Of course, the one that really put them on the map for most people. It is a really great, wonderful film. Great dialogue, great script. If you guys haven't seen it, give Good Will Hunting a go. You won't be disappointed. But that's pretty much it there. Here's my quick rundown. Number 10, Psycho. 9, Even Cowgirls Get the Blues. 8, Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot. 7, Finding Forrester. 6, Milk. 5, To Die For. 4, Own Private Auto. 3, Elephant. 2, Drugstore Cowboy. And number 1 is Go Will Hunting. Now, he's done other stuff as well. His worst, to be honest, to me, is that one he did with Matthew McConaughey, Sea of Trees. That was actually pretty terrible. Let's see. Permanent Vacation from 1980. Gary from 2002, which Gary and Last Days and Paranoid Park was actually like his own trilogy called the Death Trilogy, the art film era. Let's see. Promised Land with Matt Damon was pretty decent. But anyway. He also did that Feud, like the second season of Feud. So, about Capote, so he did that too. But let me let you guys, what's some of your favorite Gus Van Sant movies? Draw Gospel, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Suicide.